Technologies make lousy parachutes.
All right, we're back in the garage, and the next order of business is the front brake switch, which I ended up getting this one from Twin Power. Well, technically it's from Twin Power, but I got it from Orange Cycle Parts on Amazon, and it was about $17. The OEM Harley one is about 32 to 35 bucks. This actually came quicker than the Harley one was going to come because they didn't have it at either of the dealerships local to me, and it was going to take 8 days. I got this the next day. So yeah, we're going to go with this one and see how it works. So when taking this housing apart, unlike this one, this is a T25. This one's a T27, and there's one here, there's one down on the bottom here, and that should come apart. So it might be hard to see, but what we're trying to get at is right there. So down underneath this. And that's just kind of keeping pressure on it so that it stays in place, because the switch is right there. And as you can see, a rubber boot has totally disintegrated. So this is going to be really hard to see, but there is a little tiny spacer. It's kind of like a ramp, but it's right behind here, putting pressure on the switch to keep it over there. So don't lose that. All right, to make this a little easier, I'm actually going to pull the throttle cables out. I was hoping I could do this without that, but doesn't seem to be the case. Just don't leave these lose these little ferrules. Ah, much easier. Kind of hoping I could just bend this out of the way. Like that. There's the offending piece. Now, the question is, how far down do I want to go to attach it in? We're going to have to assess that now that that piece is out and see what options we have. All right, so plan of attack right now is lifted the tank up, have it supported here. We're going to undo the wiring harness that is for this, and we're going to move it over to the bench. So I loosely spliced in the new switch, which is in my hand. The bike is on, and we are going to check to see if the new switch actually turns the brake lights off. Oh ho ho! We won. Let's button this shit back up. We know that the brake light works now. Next we got to get the lever and master reservoir back on so that we can put some brake fluid in and see if the brakes actually work. So I opted not to go with the OEM style that comes with built-in banjos and go with some aftermarket stuff. This one is Magnum Shielding Corporation. This banjo bolt is a Mag AN3 10mm 35 degree banjo black. Hopefully you can see that. So this is 35 degrees, meaning it's coming out at a 35 degree angle. I've already put the one in down on the actual caliper. I haven't tightened it down just yet because I just got to make sure the angle works well for the way that I'm doing this. And I'm doing 35 degrees off both sides. I just believe that's going to give me the best options. So as for the brake line, this is steel braided, covered with black polypropylene or something like that. I got it through my local shop through Jag Specialties. It does have the fitting so you can create whatever angle you want off of your master cylinder and off of your caliper. So it gives me some options for how to run it. I got to figure out how to do that right now. And then we're going to try doing something a little different this time. We're going to reverse bleed these. So we're going to start down here and send the fluid up, because I heard a couple different people saying that it's easier to do. So let's see if we can do that. All right, let's see if this works. Oh, look at that. Oh. All right, the bike is all buttoned up, but before I do any cleanup, I should probably take her for a test drive to make sure that the brakes are working correctly. So yeah, let's hope I don't die. All right. Well, I'm about 500 feet from my house and I'm not dead yet. And we're gonna use only the front brake to stop. Look at that. Stopped. All right, I guess I did it right. Let's go zip through Deep River and Chester. Engage our brake a few more times.